Today on the podcast, we have Tyler Dusan from a few different companies. So I'll let you introduce yourself, Tyler. Tell
Hey,
us a
how's it
bit about
going,
yourself.
everybody? Thank you for having me on here, Kevin. I'm really excited to talk about Bitcoin utility, how it's evolved over since 2008, whenever it launched, the having an effect with the having a protocol, the reward that people who are running the network receives get cut in half. So I'm excited to talk about all that and how it influenced the technology that I've been building to also provide utility to Bitcoin. And I want to hear about your application more and the self custody services that you're going to be providing and how people can put utility towards your platform as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing time. There's a lot going on in the space. There's a lot people are building. But why don't we start at the beginning? So tell us about your Bitcoin journey and how that started.
So my Bitcoin journey is really wild in a sense. I found out about it really early whenever the emails were getting sent about Bitcoin and finding out about it. I was a teenager. This was, what time was this? This was around 2013, 2012, 2014, sometime around then. I'm 30 just for background. Uh, but anyway, so I got the email from my computer and I remember my dad sitting at the counter and I went up to him. I was like, Dad, we got to check this out. It could be worth something one day. And I wanted him to get $1,000 of Bitcoin for each one of us, but he never ended up doing it because he just got so busy. My dad, he ran a airport rehabilitation company and he basically traveled the United States rejuvenating and crack sealing airport runways to where the airplanes can land safely. He's done over hundreds of airports. He passed away a few years away. God bless his soul. But that's kind of how I found out of Bitcoin initially. I didn't take any initiative to get involved. I was a teenager. And then fast forwarding, I got out of college. I went truck driving for a little bit. And then while I was truck driving, I saved up some money. And then I got away from truck driving. And I started doing day trading. And that's whenever I started getting involved with the crypto because I transferred from stocks to crypto because I just realized how much more lucrative crypto is and more secure, in my opinion, because, everything's decentralized. So I took my stab at crypto at around 2017, started making entries and whatnot. And I started working for other companies at around 2019, subcontracting. One of them was Safe Haven. They build decentralized inheritance solutions to where you could essentially give your cryptocurrency to your heirs in a decentralized way whenever you pass. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like the nuclear code system that you see in the movies. It uses these FIDO2 devices, which are security keys, kind of like a YubiKey. They call them safe keys. And anyway, you go to their platform and you use their Inherity protocol. It encrypts the data that you put inside the inheritance plan, which would be private keys and all that stuff. And it encrypts it using AES-256 technology, decrypts it, and then splits it in fragments. And then all those fragments are stored on those little keys that you give to your kids and put some in a bank. And then whenever you pass away, they get together with the lawyer, connect it all together, and then they can get the private keys and recover the wallet. So that's where I started in the space of blockchain technology to get my basis understanding of security, how to work on the blockchain without people having to worry about losing funds. And then I evolved into working with gaming platforms, Vulcan Forge, which we're partners with. And I'm now currently building on their blockchain with Champ Ledger. And our utilities include multi-chain, which includes Bitcoin. And we'll get into all that later. But that's kind of how my start became into the ecosystem and when I started building, holding, etc.
This is amazing. So you were young, like early teen when you discovered this. And your story kind of hit home when you told your dad to buy some. I'm 50 to date myself, and I was kind of heavily involved in foreign exchange and well aware of Bitcoin, around that time. And, never really thought of putting money in seriously, although, it was definitely an option. And then I did the math during COVID, and I was like, wow, if I put 1,000 or I think it was $10,000 in for each kid, it would be like $150 million now. And that caused me to rethink risk in a whole different level because the risk was not participating at the end of the day, right? And so, yeah, really interesting that you were able to pick up on that. And so, I know you're involved in a number of different things, and I love hearing about all of it. But I guess I'm curious about starting with, I understand there's two projects now, or maybe you can start telling us a bit about Champ Association and how that ties in.
Yeah, thank you. So Champ Association was initially the first project that I started creating with a business partner I was working with in the past, and it was revolving around tokenizing champagne. I've got something I could show right here. Um, it's a little white paper. It's got all the different bottles. You see the Bitcoin bottle right there. Well, long story short, people would buy a bottle of champagne and they would have 50 euros of Bitcoin actually airdrop to their decentralized wallet that's connected to their marketplace account. So they would be able to buy with a credit card and not know anything about cryptocurrency and use Reown Wallet Connect to decentrally store the funds through their automatically created email wallet. And then they can create a decentralized wallet, which is much more secure than the Reown email wallet because you have the private keys and the extra layers, and then they can transfer the funds from their escrow wallet to their fully decentralized private key wallet. And just to reiterate, the email wallet from Reown Wallet Connect, it is decentralized. It's just connected to your email. So if someone gets access to your email, then they'll be able to have access to that wallet. And you can add a private key layer to that email wallet to make it more secure. But I always recommend for people to go full cold storage and get something like a ledger or something like a hard wallet to where you can keep your real assets off of a platform to where they can't necessarily access them if you sign a smart contract without you knowing it. Because a lot of people, they'll visit platforms and they'll have a browser connected or their application connected, and they'll be signing contracts and they don't review that contract, and the next thing you know, they're drained. So it's really important for people to self custody on a cold wallet, preferably a multi-sig. They have really advanced multi-sig wallets to where it requires multiple signatures from different parties to approve a transaction. And that's typically what business accounts will utilize to ensure
It
that.
sounds it sounds like you do a lot. So I guess my question is kind of about Champ Association and whether it's on-ramping people to crypto and Bitcoin. And it sounds like there's a whole, like the security obviously is really important with this. It's a different security model than people are familiar with through banking or, traditional things they may do. Is part of the uh, I guess, opportunity or mission to educate people as
Yes.
they.
Yes, 100%, Kevin. So I've developed a platform that allows not only my business but other businesses to create these digital products. I was just trying to explain the champagne concept to where you can understand the digital product tools that we'll be offering for businesses or people who want to create them. So they could go to the marketplace, create a business account on our platform, and then assign products to the marketplace through their business, connect their Stripe API to receive the fiat, and basically, their decentralized wallet that's connected to the business account will be holding their cryptocurrency that is automatically transferred to the one who purchases that product. So imagine if you bought this Bitcoin shirt and you got 50 euros of Bitcoin sent to your wallet, and all you had to do was buy it with a credit or debit card on the marketplace. And then there's tutorial videos that show how to make decentralized wallets to get it off of that email wallet and all that stuff. So we're 100% doing that. We're trying to reduce the barriers of traditional retail products with Web3 to where people could easily already have a business with products, come sign up, list them, and then attach crypto with the smart contracts and have it sent to their clients instantly. And that's going to provide a lot of utility for Bitcoin because there's a lot of Bitcoin maximalists out there who are looking to get their products on the blockchain in a sense. And when I say blockchain, that can mean getting their product tracked, such as a supply chain, having an NFC on that product to where they scan it whenever it arrives at warehouses to where emails are going out to the client instantly. Or it could be as simple as having tokens attached to that product and those tokens are on the blockchain. So there's really a hybrid model that we could provide for everybody. And we're capable of doing pretty much anything that they want to do for providing utility to Bitcoin and awarding consumers that buy their products.
Amazing. And so I know there's other projects coming soon. Coastal Crypto Solutions. And so what's next? What's next for you?
Yeah, so it kind of looks a little confusing seeing all the different companies, but the way that it works is Coastal Crypto Solutions Corporation is my corporation in Mississippi. And that's the company that handles all the development of technology for the different companies that sell products on the Champ Ledger platform. So Coastal Crypto Solutions Corporation owns Champ Ledger, and then other businesses, whether it's mine or business partners who register as a business account on Champ Ledger, can create their own products with the tools. So that's what Coastal Crypto Solutions Corporation does. It builds all the technology for all the companies and business partners. So if people need specific tools for their business on our platform, they can request it. And if it's within our budget and roadmap, then we will handle it on our own without even requesting increase of funds if it's good for the community. But if it's something to where it's a specific white labeling feature, businesses are free to reach out and sign white labeling contracts. I'm currently speaking to a few different people that want me to manage their business account on the platform to where I basically set up all the products in their business account inventory and ensure that the smart contracts are set up properly to where their cryptocurrency from their decentralized wallet that they own 100%. That's another thing. We don't have any private keys of any businesses. We use Wallet Connect for them to register their public wallet address, and that public wallet address is utilizing the smart contracts to trigger signatures through that wallet to send it to the user's wallets.
Got it. So, I mean, is this an example of something you're currently building now? And so I'm curious to see kind of what the roadmap looks like and what's next.
Yeah,
You know,
if you want, I could do a little screen share and show some stuff on the platform.
yeah, if you don't have permission, I'm not sure. Present or invite.
Let's
I
see.
think, yeah,
I'll just share the entire screen. That way I can move around the tabs because I've got so many different tabs open. Um, is it sharing right now? There it goes.
wow.
Okay, so this is essentially what people see at the homepage. It explains what Champ Ledger is and shows the circulation of our tokens, the characters, the guilds, which all give utility to our partner tokens. And I can explain that by showing the tools. So as people play the video games that Champ Ledger and our partners will be providing, we have API endpoints that communicate the XP earned in those games to this platform. And it tracks all that XP, which will basically allow the users to come here and see the play to earn reward pools. These play to earn reward pools are having the funds funded by subscription fees on the platform, such as a battle pass. So every time that somebody wants to get access to this premium tier each quarter, it's a three month revolving period. They'll have to pay $19.99, and a portion of that is shared with all of our different pools, which can be seen through the token supply page. Everything's updated real time, and basically how we're going to be also providing utility to Bitcoin in a large way is through our node infrastructure as well. I didn't mention that earlier, but um, let me go to the nodes. So right here, you're going to see test values. The real values of a node are down here. That's how much the values are to have that tier. But let's say that you have a visionary tier, which is $312,500 worth of value. You could lock 25% of that value in Bitcoin, soft locked. This is all self custody. We don't require anybody to put tokens in a staking pool. It's all on their registered wallet. So our system basically scans all of these wallets that are registered down here. I only have some wallets connected to Elysium right now, but it's multi-chain. As you can see here, you can use universal multi-chain wallet options, Wallet Connect, which provides basically any type of wallet that you want through here. Or you could use direct connection, SafePal, Trust Wallet, MetaMask. It'll pull it up, connect it. Well, I can connect the account to show. And then you'll see that the wallet's connected. This wallet has already been assigned. It's right here to the business charity wallet. So all these wallets communicate together and are eligible to be scanned by this node infrastructure. So long story short, it's going to scan your registered Bitcoin wallets, and it's going to make sure that 25% of the value, if you lock the node in Bitcoin, you would click the Bitcoin button once you have enough Bitcoin on the registered wallet. Again, I don't have any registered Bitcoin wallets on the account right now during this testing phase, but I could easily connect it, and then it would register, read the blockchain, see that there's that much Bitcoin on there. And then once it's an amount that's allowed for that registration, you confirm the registration. And that node tier is going to be sharing, like this node right here gets 12% of the pool, this one 5%, 1%, 37%, 45%. So this guy right here has got an idealist node. A realist node right here. He can upgrade to an idealist because he has the balance available. Since he's the only active node, which all shows down here, he'll be getting that whole reward pool, which there's nothing in there because it was already drained from yesterday's test because I ran subscriptions. But these are the subscriptions for the guilds for them to basically fund the tools that allow them to build worlds that have treasure chests inside them with Bitcoin filled inside. So imagine people being able to play our video game to make a world within the game, and then people pay a $5, $10, $100, maybe $1,000 entry fee, depending on how many Bitcoin or Satoshis are in the chest. And it's going to be hard to beat the dungeon floors and beat all the monsters and possibly get to the chest. So you might never get to it. You might try 100 times, or you might get it first try if you're really good and you're playing with people that know what they're doing. So there's a whole bunch of different tools and ways that we're providing Bitcoin utility, and our games are even going to allow people to have the Bitcoin utility. But yeah,
So
that's kind of like a sneak peek of the platform in the sense, just different parts of it.
amazing. So, I mean, as we talked about before, I'm not a big gamer, but just a quick question: why do you think there's such an overlap with gaming and the crypto space? And I'm
That's
really
an
focused
excellent
more on the
question.
Bitcoin space.
Yeah, so that's an excellent question. Let me get back to the meeting rooms where I can see and stop screen sharing. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna give a perfect example of why blockchain is needed for gaming in a sense. Pokemon, you see it all the time, or maybe you haven't seen it. There's Pokemon cards that sell for a lot of money. Logan Paul recently just had an auction go through with Golden. It was I forget the number. It was like 15 or 17 million dollars for the Pokemon Illustrator card, in between 12 to 17. Crazy figure, right? That's not even blockchain. That's not even NFT. It doesn't have any utility in a video game. It's just for collectability. Now, why am I bringing that up? There's so many Pokemon cards that I lost during Hurricane Katrina. I would have probably over $500,000 worth of Pokemon cards in perfect condition because I was that little nerd that had perfect binders, nothing, PSA 10s, PSA 10s, at least a lot of PSA 7s, right? Because they're really critical on what they rate a PSA 10. So what I'm getting at is, imagine if all that was stored on the blockchain as a token ID. So if you lose the physical, all you have to do is prove that you own the token ID on the blockchain, and you still own that edition of that card, because there's only certain amounts of cards per edition in most trading card games like Pokemon. So what we would be doing in a sense would be validating the security of the asset as the player is purchasing it. In a sense, they would never lose access to it as long as they don't lose access to their private keys, right? And let's say they lose the physical, they could pay a reprint fee in a sense just to get the collectible back. The real important thing is the NFT on the blockchain that determines the ownership of the asset itself and the edition. And that's why blockchain is evolving gaming, because we're talking about so many different assets here. You look at Fortnite, all these different skins that they have. There's unlimited amount of skins. If you want to get a John Cena skin in Fortnite, you're going to go pay like $9 or $20 to get their V-Bucks. Then you got to spend the V-Bucks in the game store, but you can never convert the V-Bucks back to a real fiat. So it's not really your money at the end of the day. It's just a credit for the platform. And then when you buy the skin, it's just a credit to an unlimited supply. And if you lose access to that gaming account, you don't have John Cena anymore. You can't trade John Cena to a different gaming account or to anyone else. You would have to buy V-Bucks on that account and then go get John Cena when he's available in the store. That's so 2000 age. Like that's old gaming to me. I want people to own their stuff and be able to do what they want with it, possibly rent the skin out to somebody who might want to use it when you're not using it, you know?
A peer-to-peer skin rental market on the blockchain.
Yeah,
Um, we yeah, it's as a non-gamer, I mean, what I'm picking up on is there's this whole commercial and trading aspect that needs blockchain technology, and that's cool.
for
For
sure.
you, like, what are the a lot of our guests have regulatory challenges. Anybody in this space is kind of, I'm assuming that's not a challenge for you, but I'm curious. And then, I'm curious also of the other challenges you run into. Like, what are the biggest roadblocks?
That's a great question. So the biggest challenges that I had as a founder starting off was figuring out how to organize my business entity and like the umbrella in a sense. Which one's the head, which one's doing what to where we're not doing illegal activity. Because for example, there's so many games that we have that we're going to be releasing that can't have gambling. We're not going to allow people to say, hey, I bet $5 worth of crypto against you, and then you bet $5 worth of crypto, 100 people entering in, and then $500 pool, and then winner takes all, their top five. You can't do that unless you have a gambling license. So I'm going to have to face that regulatory barrier whenever that time comes for the expansion of our roadmap to enable those other features for our users. But I know what we're going to need to do. We'll set up an entity in Malta or Isle of Mons and basically get a broad gambling license to cover the UK and multiple European countries. And then I'll slowly start getting my gambling license in different states of America to allow users of states of America to utilize those features as well. But when that comes, we're going to have to partner with SumSub to do KYC to make sure that people are from certain regions. But as everything stands right now, everything's decentralized. We don't require certain stuff. Like we don't require your ID or your social security number. We don't require private keys. We don't store tokens on your behalf. Everything is on your wallet. So we don't have any regulatory issues as it stands right now whenever we launch, and the features that we're going to be making available and the revenue sharing mechanisms that I've created and the deflationary protocols, which I didn't get into earlier, but Bitcoin inspired that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All the I lost my train of thought. Dang it.
I don't know. There's a lot going on. Um, do you have, I mean, as somebody who's been in this space for so long, I'm curious, and seen the challenges and opportunities. What's your biggest advice for people building in the space?
Get started today. Don't wait. You need to start as soon as possible, because the first thing that you need to do if you're serious about this, spend 6 to 12 months writing out your roadmap, your plan, how it's going to solve a problem, how you're bridging the gap between traditional and Web3 finance, what people aren't doing yet. Figure out how you can utilize Claude, Opus 4.6. That's my favorite AI coding tool in Virtual Studio Code. You could use the chat feature, set up a subscription through GitHub. It's cheap. It's like 35 bucks, 40 bucks. And then you got all the credits that you need to be able to create full stack applications. I mean, they'll create it for you, but you have to have a lot of tech knowledge because they'll create AI slop is what I call it. If you don't know necessarily how to control back end, front end stuff, go spend 3 months, 5 months taking Udemy courses, Udemy. It's a website that offers blockchain courses, Web2 courses. Another one, Mammoth Club, Mammoth Club Gaming. They have Unreal Engine, Unity courses. I spent 2 years taking all these different courses, learning how to build this technology, creating demos that I never launched publicly, just to create demos to learn how to create the technology. And then after 7 years of doing all that studying, planning out my roadmap, building stuff on the side, I finally started building Champ Ledger September 18th of last year. And here we are. You saw a demo of the platform, and we're going to be going live in a couple months. So anything's possible. You just got to put your mind to it and don't give up. That's my best advice, and start today.
Good advice. Always good advice. So, what I am curious too, with everything you mentioned a bit of the vibe coding and AI slop that gets out, and certain things have limitations today. I think it's pretty clear. I think we both experienced that. Um, so what's next? I mean, does that eventually get fixed and everything we can just vibe code from our thoughts and build things that way? Or, you know, where's the space going given the technology?
So I'm working on this other little feature for the platform to where basically I'm going to create an AI generator for the businesses and clients so that they can tell the AI what they want to create, what type of app, what type of game, preferably games starting off. Like, let's say you wanted to create an Angry Birds game. You tell the Vibe Coder app on our platform, once I'm done coding it, I want to create an Angry Birds game utilizing Bitcoin, make it to where it has these utilities, blah, 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 blah. It creates the game and then it'll write all that code to GitHub for you and publish it to where it's a functioning app, link it to our Champ ledger, connect API endpoints to where they'll have their XP tracked to our leaderboard, and then your game will be made through our platform, supported through all the utility protocols, being able to make physical products, creating guilds, all sorts of stuff. Because we also have a Web3 Fiverr that I built on the platform, which is essentially a place where people can go offer their services for cryptocurrency per hour. Imagine if you're an artist, a marketer, a good storyteller, um, and a mercenary. So a mercenary is someone who's good at gaming in the games. They're really skilled at being a sorcerer, or maybe they're a berserker, or maybe they're this, that, and the other, right? And that team needs that person. They need a healer or something like that. So you go say, "Hey, I'm available on the weekends. These are the games I'm used to playing. This is my experience. I want like $25 worth of Bitcoin per hour whenever we're playing these challenges. If you're willing to accept it, then I'll be on your guild." The guild accepts it. They'll sponsor that contract with the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin will go into a decentralized pool. And then as the person completes the hours and the guild approves each hour, they'll be able to take a portion of it out of the pool. So it's going to be really awesome whenever people see the utility that they're going to be able to bring to Bitcoin with these tools. And I'm excited to be able to make it happen.
I think I guess a part of it for me, you know, an important part of Bitcoin is the community, and I also felt that when I kind of moved to the community here, and maybe I'd lost a bit of that connection to community in Canada. Uh, you know, talk about community a little bit, and how it impacts this, because obviously there's more than one person playing a lot of these games.
For sure. So community is the backbone of Web3 and really anything that wants to survive for a long time. You can never have your focus on something that doesn't involve the community because then you lose track of what the community actually wants. And what I've noticed Web3 companies have been doing over the last decade is creating blockchain meetups, whether it be in person or virtual events. And that's something that we're going to be looking to provide for people with virtual experiences, such as going into, let's say, a museum or a digital stage, and you have your little avatar character walking through. You can watch people speak, you can interact with them, or you can even talk to them just while playing the games. So that's what we're going to be looking to incorporate: social media experiences that allow people to go into the metaverse, meet each other, come up with ideas, maybe even build projects together. Because remember, with that game AI tool that's going to come out on our platform later, they could just vibe code something together. And it might be the next big mobile game or the next big PC game. You never know. And I like to see the events, and I want to see people incorporate NFTs in all these events, such as like if you buy a ticket to this event, you get an NFT, and that NFT might let you enter a staking pool to get a portion of the Bitcoin proceeds that were collected for the event. Other stuff like discounts to future events, just so many different ways that you could leverage NFTs on the platform, subscription discounts for
I
different
was
features.
I was still thinking about the game I would make. And so when that becomes available, let me know. I want to get in on that. I've had this
Yeah,
idea
for
for
sure.
years. I'm not giving it away here. It's private.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it later, but it's going to be 100% simple. It'll be set up to where you just tell the AI what to do. It'll put the code up to GitHub, and then you'll be able to test the demo, and then you'll take snapshots, explain what's wrong with the game to the AI, and then it'll go back in, edit the code, change it up, and we'll also offer tech support for difficult things that relate to the API connections to ensure that the XP goes on the leaderboard. So Yeah, we're looking to make it as easy as possible for everybody, and we want everybody to start building on the blockchain to where more people become aware of it. And it's to the point to where the platform makes it so that you don't even have to have Web3 knowledge. You're playing these games, the tokens are getting basically stored for your account, and whenever you're ready to redeem them, you just redeem them to your wallet and you watch the tutorial videos. And yeah, it's going to be awesome to see what you come up with. I can only imagine.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. I really enjoy, you know, learning about things on the cutting edge, and this is obviously the cutting edge of gaming. So, thank you for taking us through this. Where can people find you? Where can they
So
follow up?
I'm on LinkedIn, Tyler Deuson. I'm on X as Nebula Matrix. I, I'm going to be releasing more information through LinkedIn and X in the next couple months. But yeah, it's just a lot to kind of get launched all at once. So I'm being careful on actual dates because it might take a month or two longer, depending on integrating the API endpoints into the video games. Because I've got these video games built, at least three out of the five, and I have to basically connect the API endpoints of Champ Ledger into the Unreal Engine code. So it's going to take me a couple months to go back in and edit that. But once I get that done and I package the game, people will be able to commit actions like events like kill a beast or whatever, and then they'll get the XP. It'll show up on the platform. They'll be able to get the cryptocurrency deserved for them. And the way that works is, Kevin, let's say that there's 100 XP that was earned in the hour and you got 10 XP and there were 10 other players. You get 10% of the pool and the other 10 players would get 10% of the pool. Just simple math, right? Like not hardcore. I didn't want to use hard
Yeah.
numbers.
Well, amazing, Tyler. Thanks again, and we will definitely be connecting. And thanks again.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Kevin. I'm looking forward to future conversations and seeing how we can work together with Kadena as well. I really want to delve into the services that you offer, and if you want to talk about it another time, or if you want to keep talking about it for a little bit, I'm more than willing to stay a couple more minutes.
I appreciate it, Tyler. I think we'll save it for the next show, and then we'll talk about maybe integrations and what we can do, and my game ideas.
Let's do it. I can even get you on the philanthropist write-off certificate tool to where people can donate Bitcoin to your business and get a tax write-off at the end of the year. We got that too. I forgot to mention it.
Amazing. Well, we will reconnect soon. Thanks again.
Thank you, brother. Have a blessed day.